Preparations are underway now for the funeral of Pope Francis as leaders of the Catholic Church begin gathering to decide the future of the papacy. The Vatican announced this morning that a solemn service for the Holy Father will take place this Saturday in St. Peter's Square, with thousands expected to attend. Tony Aiello reports from Rome.
Catholic cardinals are gathering at the Vatican to finalize plans to honor Pope Francis and eventually choose his successor. Senior clergy and Vatican officials paid their respects to Francis Tuesday during an intimate service at the Santa Marta Hotel, where he laid in a coffin, adorned in a red robe and papal mitre. The first images of the late pontiff came on the same day Vatican officials announced his funeral will be held Saturday in St. Peter's Square.
There is a sense of a void that is somehow going to have to be filled, but coupled with that immediately is also the intrigue of what comes next.
The 88-year-old, who died Easter Monday after a stroke that caused heart failure, left behind specific instructions for a simple burial at Rome's Basilica of St. Mary Major, with a one-word inscription on his tomb, Franciscus, his name in Latin. There will be chanting in Latin as Pope Francis's body is moved in a solemn procession on Wednesday from Santa Marta to St. Peter's Basilica, where he will lie in state until the funeral and burial.
Pope Francis almost had like a radar for people who were left behind.
CBS Evening News co-anchor Maurice Dubois spoke with Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who was part of the conclave that selected Pope Francis 12 years ago.
They're going to see some mourning, they're going to see some gratitude, they're going to see some hope, and then they're going to see people say we need to get to work.
The cardinals will be choosing a date after Saturday's funeral to begin their conclave to elect the church's next leader. Tony Aiello, CBS News, Rome.
World leaders are already making their way to Rome to attend Pope Francis's funeral. President Trump confirmed on social media that he plans to attend along with First Lady Melania Trump. Well, Pope Francis was both an inspiring and polarizing figure to so many around the world, including right here in East Texas. And yesterday at the Chapel of St. Peter and Paul in Tyler, a special mass honored his life and impact. Tyler Bishop Gregory Kelly spoke at yesterday's Mass, and he said that Francis's steady commitment to the vulnerable will define his legacy.
The gestures that he made were not just empty gestures. I mean, they really were where his attention was on the person who was discarded, the person whose dignity was being disrespected, who nobody thought counted. I don't think he held anything back. And I think, sometimes because of fear, because of uncertainty, because of ignorance, we kind of hold back. And I think that's been very much on my mind ever since coming to Tyler. So how can I enter into this without holding anything back?
The process of selecting a new pope begins following this period of mourning for Pope Francis. Well, you may